course, got himself the second place, so Coop's popping off, but Zjol, Doc, top here. I mean, what was really cool is that Zjol, his nades have been kind of matching the energy of Doc's. They've been so pinpoint accurate with that utility. Top, especially his grenades on that Rondo game, were really standing out. APG for me, of course, the rotate's so good, everything, but like their utility game, Nitra in particular, really is the standout kind of aspect of the game that is massive so far for APG.
No, it really is, and what I love is that when Top joined this roster, immediately his nades got a lot better because he was learning from Doc. Now, we have Zjol as well coming in, and his nades in PMGC so far have been really, really good. So I love the energy that Doc is kind of just influencing the rest of his team to really up their utility game, and it's creating this powerhouse of a team that if they play well, and if they get to the end game, they are unstoppable. So it's a really, really nice sort of shift to see team by, or player by player, the individual step up in that area is really cool.
Can you imagine if Doc is like looking at his teammate's phone on the side and be like, just a little bit more to the right, a bit higher? Yeah, there you go. He's just coaching them on the nades.
He's got that heat-seeking missile, right? He knows exactly where to throw it right there. And that's what's so good, though, right? When you have a player who's really good at using a particular utility or strategy in the game, right? Him to be able to like really coach his squad, give him a little bit of advice. Everyone's gonna level up, right? I mean, the proof is in the pudding. When you see Doc nail those nades, you know that whatever he says goes for sure. Now, you know, when it comes to Doc choosing off angles, maybe think twice. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're like kind of like, I don't know about that advice. But you know what? They end up winning that game there, and they land back in military, right? We saw them land a little bit different in the first Airgale. Max, what are your thoughts, right, on the fact that they win from coming from military? Do you think that can get in their head at all?
I don't think so, no. It's just that it's their primary drop location, so they can really use that position to its full potential because they dropped there for like years at this point. So they're very, very experienced when it comes to that drop location. So I'm just happy they have the secondary option of going to Kameshki, which actually this game, Nitro, we were looking at the map feed, Inner Circle dropped in Kameshki. So they are also trying to use it as a secondary drop location if they have a really bad plane. So the adaptability of these teams is just second to none, and so far it's been successful for not just APG, but also Inner Circle. But Valence, whoa, those stats.
Yeah.
3.7 is crazy. Gothel, it's only 3 games played, but still insanely good stats for this player.
Yeah, and the fact that he's got 43% team contribution, like we know the rest of the team is not slacking at all, but that's just his influence on the team that he's being able to contribute so much. I do want to go back to APG very quickly because they did go back to military. I have a hypothesis here, Max.
Ooh, okay.
That APG did not drop military because they were worried that GS would hot drop them again for the first game, and they needed to not have a rough start on Erangel. They needed to be able to come off the back of the Rondo with a really good Erangel as well. So I think them going back to military was always part of the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good theory. You know, I like the fact that they did it in the first place, right? Because it just mixes things up, right? When you have a squad that just goes in the same place constantly, they're just so predictable. So I think the fact that they just changed their drop location at all, Max, pays off here big time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that first Erangel was mainly because of the plane that was very northern. I think that was the reasoning behind it, but you know what? That's an extra little bonus for having changed that drop location, Nitro. So I would have to echo your point, but was it the main core reason as to why that happened in the first place? I'm not 100% certain just yet.
Yeah, well, you know what, man? We got match number 4 coming right up. The last Erangel of the day. Max, real quick, percentage chance we're going to see another Gaka Circle. Go.
99% chance, and if it doesn't happen, we fell on that 1%. Okay, so it's looking pretty good.
All right. I like those odds right now, but let's get ready for match number 4 and take it on over to our casters.
And in we go. The third and final Erangel of today, match number 4 for Group Green. And we are going over the military base island up towards Kameshki. We'll see where our teams opt to drop. We haven't seen any hot drops on it. should be okay. And we're definitely not going to the gap field. Like, we're going over to the east side this time around.
Yeah, you can already see here a little bit of argy-bargy going on in terms of teams all rotating on top of one another because the spots are limited. Hello, pistol out, see what we get done. The monster truck is coming though. One more shot, it's all it takes, and he does find it. Very nice.
Got quite a lot of ammo with that pistol. It's looking good on the iron sights. Oh dear, came up against a rifle. That is, that's really annoying. That's really annoying for the Falcons. Oh, he definitely overstayed on that.
Yeah, a bit overzealous is the way to put it. You just get in the vehicle, run him down, and then leave, right? You don't need to flush him with the pistol. I think for Narvalo, it's an unfortunate one, especially with Narvalo being one of their best players on that squad in terms of gun skill. I think that they desperately do need that. Koa in the past was so incredibly strong, really made a name for himself, but I think has been slightly less explosive in terms of performance recently. I'm still waiting for him to break back onto the scene.
It's hopefully a resurgence in his future, but that's easier said than done. Let's take a look at some of the data. For ABG, they definitely have stepped back up, right? The desk were talking about it. We've been talking about it as well. A revitalized Mongolian front coming through. They're now top of the tables, kind of where we expect them to be. Better late than never. GS, Gen.G managed to take 2 players down from the Goats. That leaves them on 1 player standing now for Goat, and they are not going to be happy about that. That is a pretty appalling situation to find yourself in, not even into minute 4.
Yeah, a fairly aggressive start, honestly, all things considered for an international format. Already 4 players down, 3 minutes into the match is quite ridiculous, but Go's definitely mostly on the receiving end of this. Only Varanik left remaining for the squad, and I have to go for some survival maneuvers into the late game here. But 9Z, I think they're very happy with their Yaz drop here. This is a great position to get started, especially if it moves over towards the fields. You've got a lot of vision here. You can play on the south side. Okay, here's some shots from Dami. Oh, insane spray transfer as well.
Yeah.
Assisted by Quick with the SKS.
Very, very nice stuff. Earned points, definitely, for Gen.G. Fortunate for Goat that they were the ones those points were extracted from. They will have to just try and trot on with just the 1 player now. Still more matches to play, more games to be had. Tiamba, very, very quiet so far. You said in that last match, it wasn't looking good for them. We'll see if they can change the tune from Milta now. Maybe it's just that they don't favor those Gatka rotates, right? Maybe it's just that they really don't like heading over to that part of the map. Maybe they'll find something better on this east side.
I think the team that I'm most frustrated with at the moment is probably Paparazzi Supermassive, getting practically 0 points since Rondo at the start of the day, which just confuses me. I genuinely do think this is a good team, but so far it's been really lackluster. They're a strong team when it comes to sweeping, but I think they keep getting themselves into some bad scenarios. Now, I'd hope that things would get better tomorrow for them, but it's a lot of homework that needs to be done between now and then. But I think that that's almost not inexcusable, but the fact that we saw 2 games back to back where it was pretty much the same circle, there were some very clear teams who had learned their lesson from the previous game. I mean, Wolves immediately took it upon themselves to pick up the only compound that was free the entire time that no one went to. I think that was a great decision to make, and it got them far into the game. But it shows that on-the-fly changes can be made during the day, and we just haven't seen that from Papa Supermassive, which I think is required a level of gameplay like this. So yeah, we'll see. Not that Turkey needs more contestants into the grand finals, that is.
Oh dear, yeah. I mean, they've already been able to snaff away 2 of those spots, right? Doing pretty well. Looking good for representation on that global stage, and that, well, you can't say much fairer than that, I think. It's It's been interesting to see what they've been able to do. Both Kara and Ulf already taking strides out towards those finals from the Gauntlet stage. Maybe we'll see another team join them. I mean, you'd hope, I mean, this is going a little bit into the future now, but you'd hope that Regnum Karya also are going to be able to find one of those spots and really make that global lobby complete, really, with Silas's presence.
I'm definitely unsure about it though at this point in time. I'm definitely unsure about Regnum Karya. I think they're in the past it would be the case coming into this international. I was like, oh, Regnum Karya is definitely going to be going through to the grand finals. I was fairly confident in that. Not so much anymore. I actually have my doubts, which is sad as well because I really do like Regnum Karya as a team. I think Zed Wolf is a great addition. And when I saw him get added to the team, sort of for me it was a case of that's insane. Like that's just become a god roster. But it's not the case.
No, it wasn't quite. I mean, they did very well, obviously, in the region, and obviously with Zed Wolf just coming into the roster, it was a little bit rocky, a little bit of a difficult road that they trod in order to get to the victory, right? The entirety of the PMSL that they qualified through. But here, it seems like that process is sort of about to happen again, and hopefully it's happened in short order. APG, they were able to turn it around massively, right, from the group stages, and maybe that the similar sort of thing could happen there.
Let's not talk about APG.
Well, they did pretty badly in the gauntlet.
That's better. Okay. I think we just get the captain. Can't talk about it.
Don't want to. Yeah, it's so bad right now. Like, just
so
I don't
bad.
know what they're doing. It's just awful.
Yeah. It's just really not good. It's the same. It's the only way. It's the only way to get them to do well. All right, you're lay into them, and they can take it. Try to respect.
Circle's laying into the lobby right now, heading all the way out to the east side. Lipovka Circle, very rare. We'll see who's going to be able to crunch in over that mansion area. A lot of buildings is surrounded by open ground in this zone. And then up to Lipovka, that hill that sits to the west of it. Could potentially be a little bit of respite. Wolves, they're kind of at the back of the queue right now, embroiled with OG and absolutely no one else. We definitely won't talk about.
Those who shall not be named are currently in front of the Wolves. So very similar rivalry to previous Erangel there. But to be honest, like I think APG does look like a very different beast this time around. And I'm very pleased by it. And again, I think Doc's taken it upon himself. It's rough. Doc has definitely taken it upon himself to be more of the front man for the squad, but still playing in tune with the rest of the band here, which is really cool. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, and they're succeeding because of it.
Yeah, it's necessary. It's necessary for them to be able to do that. Over to Lipovka. Okay, a big scout out coming through from AKOP. This is a big split from the rest of the roster right now. And they've already lost, I say the rest of the roster. There is only one other player, WizGod, as OG did get torn apart a little bit. They tried to crash over the hill into Lipovka. The Falcons now join them. Obviously, we know they lost a player earlier on. But the teams have managed to consolidate themselves to the east side. It has been a bit of a mad dash. Except for Go. I think they're still on a bit of a wide rotate way.
Well, he's on a wide rotate, yeah. For Alter Ego, they have one of the most insane positions on the map right now. I really love this little patch of high ground that they play. In the past, it's brought a lot of separate teams big victories, and I think that a team that starts in Lipovka, you can see how much this position is favored because the circle is centered on Lipovka. You don't want to play there. That's like the survival area of the map. It is also a case where this is a worrying amount of water in the circle right now. It's almost 50%.
Yeah, it is maybe time for the armbands for one or two players, you'd imagine. With a bit of trouble on the north side for Inner Circle as they're trying to move in on the north, but they're fairly isolated. They should be okay. You can see the next circle will be popping soon. That's 9Z yet to fully transition away from Yasnaya. They will have to, though. But we're going all the way up north, another hard shift, and another circle with a lot of water. Nobody's in the middle of this one, Blank. Don't worry.
Who's that? There's just seems like there's an invisible squad in the middle.
There's just no team there.
Actually, a decent. It's a small ditch that they're playing in. It's not like incredibly insane. I will say that APG today has been like somewhat lucky on some of the circles that come towards them, but it hasn't been like all the circles are going APG's way. But they have had a few of them. But the thing is that they are translating every single time on those circles, where they're currently at 48 points. Now, if they're able to get another big game here, like, goodness me, you're like stamping a ticket almost at this point in time with 48 points. Duke's highlighted it perfectly. It's a 16-point average, which is unheard of.
Whenever a screen it is pretty crazy, but it is a small sample size, and we've seen back-to-back chicken dinners and things like that happen before. And it is always in these 3-day sets about transitioning to the next days. They've had a great success in today's games, but we've seen bigger.
Than 48, and granted, they still do have half the day to play, but it's not something you can rely on. It's not enough just yet. Needs exchange now. On the cliffs between Falcons playing as 3 and OG playing as 2. Falcons with Ralph all the way as a backstop. That's a big nade. Blast the card of the sky and AKOP with it. WizGod now the last player to stand. And that's